I want to shift gears a little bit, talk about storytelling and authenticity, which you hit on, of course. And I think that, like, for me, I kind of want to present this through a Born Primitive example. One, to kind of have you maybe pick it apart. Okay. But also, if you feel like there are cool things about it, you know, kind of lean into what you think is.
Let's play.
All right. So I'm in originally, you know, we started in fitness apparel. We've branched out. We're in tactical apparel, outdoor apparel, athleisure, jeans, flannels, footwear, everything. You know, we're in a lot of
you're full brand.
We're in a lot of lanes now, right? And, you know, anyone who's in apparel knows you got to be a little bit of an idiot to go in that space because there's no barrier to entry. There's thousands of brands and there's a lot of noise, and you have to do something different to differentiate yourself in that space. And okay, what is your actual value proposition, right? Everyone can make good leggings. It's not that hard, right? So you can't just be, we have great sports bras and great leggings. Well, good product helps. There needs to be more to it. So
good product is the cost of entry.
It's not intentional. You know, we hire whoever comes in and is awesome, but it shakes out that, hey, that's kind of the disposition of our company. We live in the walls.
Was it intentional early on?
Well, early on, it was funny. It was just, I'd hire like my buddies' wives that I served with. Like, hey man, like, can you give my old lady a job? And I'm like, yeah, she seems awesome. And like, now she's the new email girl. You know what I mean? Knows nothing about it.
Family vibes.
That was the early days. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Similar to my background, most of the people around me that have built companies with me are bad students. I just was like, yo, I get that. I'm like, oh, you're a scrapper with Fs. Like, if literally 15 years ago, if you went to Harvard and then walked in for a job and you were a kid that dropped out of high school, but you told me that you sold blow pops in junior high, I always hired number two. That wasn't right, by the way, but it was right sometimes.
Yeah.
Now turning 49 next week, I know that half the people that went to Harvard suck shit at the game, and half the kids that sold blow pops and got F's suck at the game.
Well, I went to Yale, so I can confirm the Harvard guy sucks. So.
Right? Yeah. I mean, like you know, you learn. But on the flip side, I used to blindly think all the scrapper kids would be monsters, and I was like, oh, I got bad grades for a different reason than you got bad grades. You're just not it.
Well, so with this example, I started to realize when we would lean more into that part of our value proposition, it made us stick out amongst the noise. And one example that I'm proud of.
What year was that?
So I got out of the service at the end of 2021. So now I actually had the full week that I could, you know, I'm not doing the other job, which was very serious and stressful and intense. Right. And it opened up my aperture to, okay, now I can actually like take a step back and see how I'm going to kind of position my forces here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I realized, I say, we gotta lean more into this because that's what the consumer, I think, wants, at least from our consumer. And as you know, your consumers don't choose you choose your consumers by how you market, right? And I wanted to be more assertive with that, and he hadn't been back, right? So he like got to, I mean, how wild is it? There's nearly 10,000 graves at that American cemetery. It'll take your breath away. Very humbling.
Is it 10,000? Yeah,
it's nearly 10. It's like 9,900 something. And just obviously a very surreal experience. But you know, I try to, obviously we have to be very delicate because this is a memorial moment, right? So you have to be careful.
Commercialization.
Yeah, exactly.
You're stepping away as much as you can.
Yes.